Hey guys, it is super late. It's already 9:30. I just got done with bulk cooking. Today we're gonna keep it short and real, and I'm just gonna walk you through what I made. Sorry, you are gonna hear beeping from the fridge. I can't figure out how to turn that off. So the first thing is lunches. I stuck to what we did last week with the ground bison that's heavy on the cumin, the garlic, the paprika. I put it on top of steamed cauliflower and broccoli. And then I will put kimchi. Wow, Brian, I just got a new one of these. These are amazing. If you don't like kimchi, start with, or if you don't like sauerkraut, start with kimchi. It has more spice, really good for you. Then for my husband, he has some leftover meals from last week that he didn't finish. We've got some steamed broccoli and cauliflower. He can add 2 eggs in the morning. He's actually going to be gone for a few days, so I didn't make him a bunch of extra meat. But I do always have high protein, so this is our turkey bacon. It's about 6 grams of protein per strip. So if you throw that with a few eggs, you got a high protein breakfast, which is awesome. Also for protein drinks, I love the Rebel. And as you can see, it's a 20 grams of protein. You can also get Rebel completely keto, which if I'm gonna drink these, that I will drink the purely keto. They didn't have a ton, so we just have these right now. He does fine with these. They have a really good strawberry flavored one, which I love. Again, these are our Georgie drinks. These are the best energy drinks I've found. I personally don't have these because they do have added caffeine. I have my shake in the morning, which has my longevity mix, my marine collagen, my DIM, my aminos, lots of greens, and then flaxseed. I also put in like a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of matcha. That's my caffeine. But these are really clean if you tolerate caffeine. And then one fun thing I made this week, we're gonna test and see how this goes, but I have been trying to find a chocolate that I love that is actually sugar-free. I tend to love Lily's, but it can upset my stomach, and it's so heavy in stevia, I don't love that. So this week I bought another brand of chocolate chips I'm still experimenting with. It's a little bit less sweet. And then I bought fresh coconut, and I blended the fresh coconut with my favorite brand of nut milk. It was about a cup of fresh coconut with a cup and a half, I think, of nut milk, and then I did a liquid monk fruit. That's completely pure vanilla extract, sea salt. Then I blended it with the entire bag of chocolate chips. And I added some walnuts, and then I sprinkled some lavender on top. Because when we lived in Colorado, I ate a lavender chocolate, and it was phenomenal. So it's still setting up. It'll be more of a fudge texture. It's a little gritty due to the coconut. I'm not loving that. I'm trying to figure out how they, I've had chocolate that has coconut in it before. I forget the brand, it's phenomenal. It is also lavender, but it wasn't gritty. So I'm still trying to figure out how they did that. So I'll let you know as I continue to experiment with chocolate. Also, I did some research on continued cravings for chocolate, even if you're upping your iron, even if you're upping your magnesium, and it can be linked to adrenal. So my doctors recommended an adrenal supplement. I believe it's Vital, I don't know, I'd have to check the brand. My doctors recommended an adrenal supplement, and so I'm testing getting back on that and seeing what happens with the chocolate cravings. But for now, I'm just gonna eat a little bit of chocolate every day. So that's this shelf. And then this again is the bread that we get from Bread Seriously. Cannot recommend this brand enough, they're phenomenal. All right, this shelf, this is primarily dinners, and I made 3 dinners per usual. Before we get to dinners, I'm just gonna touch on this. Costco is selling a phenomenal grass-fed steak. Not something I eat every day. I stick with bison more than beef, but my daughter and my husband love it. So I fry it up with a bunch of garlic and avocado oil, and then I just have 2 containers like this in the fridge. Super easy for school lunches. You heat it up, pop it in a thermos, and it's good to go. It's also easy if you're traveling because it honestly tastes good cold as well. So moving on to dinners, our 3 dinners are, the first would be you can kind of see, it's brown rice. And usually I like to soak rice to get rid of any lectins, but completely ran out of time. So this is just normal brown rice cooked with some filtered water, a little bit of sea salt, and then I roast veggies. It's Brussels sprouts, zucchini, multicolored peppers, and purple onions. And I go ahead and mix that with avocado oil and sea salt. And then it has a seasoned chicken on top. And I just buy organic boneless, skinless chicken breasts, and I throw on some either olive or avocado oil or coconut oil. And then with this mix, I did heavy paprika, curry powder, a date that I cut into little pieces to add some sweetness, the juice of 1 lemon. What else did I do? Sea salt, lots of black pepper. I think that was it on this one. I just bake it till it's well done and then shred it and mix it with the juices. And then with this meal, I made enough for 2 dinners, and then I will serve it with a pesto. And again, I don't really cook with dairy. I think it's pretty inflammatory for most people. So this is a pesto. I don't know if you can see that, but it smells amazing. I get the bulk basil from either an organic store near us or Trader Joe's, and I blend it with several cloves of raw garlic, fresh lemon. Sometimes I'll throw cilantro in there. Today I did not. And then I used to just do straight olive oil, which would probably be about a half cup to a cup. And that's just it tastes amazing, but it's so calorically dense that I cut the olive oil by adding in the Elmhurst. It was, let's see, I did the coconut cashew. So I did a 1/4 cup of this, 1/4 cup of olive oil, and then a half a cup of walnuts. And with any nuts, I will buy them raw. I will soak them overnight in filtered water. I'll drain the water, and then I roast it on a super low heat, like 150 degrees. And that breaks down the lectins and makes it more absorbable, and they taste so good. So that's our pesto. So I still have to do the calorie count. Today I just cooked without any recipes. I did not have time to get the recipes, figure out all the calories. So I'm really hoping I'm not hitting over. I'll try to break that down for you later this week once I have time to enter all these recipes in and figure out the calorie count. But I'm assuming about a tablespoon for myself and my daughter, and then my husband can have whatever. But that's about the calcs my daughter and I would be having. So that's the first dinner. The second dinner, this is easy. It's spaghetti. And for my husband and daughter, I do the gluten-free Jovial noodles. The Jovial brand is phenomenal. They even sell beans that are pre-soaked and in glass containers, so there's absolutely no heavy metal contamination, no digestive issues, because they truly are cooked the proper way. But their pasta is also phenomenal. I will sometimes eat the pasta, but I will immediately gain 2 pounds after eating pasta, which is a sign of inflammation. So for this week, I'm trying to be good, not eat the pasta. But for them, they do fine. So I cooked a package of pasta, split it into 4 containers to last for 2 dinners for my husband and my daughter. And then the sauce, I used the bison from Costco, which again is phenomenal. And then I will mix it with either Primal Kitchen, garlic sauce is really good. Primal Kitchen tomato basil sauce is really good. Although I just found Sprouts is offering a kind of like a similar product for literally half the price. So check out the Sprouts brand. It is starting to produce some really good, contestants with some of these more popular brands. So check that out. For myself, I am having, let's see if I can find one of mine. I am having the meat sauce, the same exact portions as my husband and daughter before I dumped the entire fridge on my lap. But I went ahead for myself and I just roasted spaghetti squash. And then I took about 2 teaspoons of olive oil, so about a teaspoon per meal because it's for 2 meals, and sauteed a bunch of garlic in it. So it will have a little bit more flavor in the spaghetti squash. But that's my version of spaghetti. Again, I have not calced the macros, but we should be in the right ballpark. All right, the last meal is lentil inspired, and I love my lentils. And again, I should be pre-soaking for at least 12 hours. Did not do that, ran out of time. And I also prefer to cook with black lentils as they're more nutritious. Didn't have any. So this is just a red lentil that I cooked in about a cup of bone broth per person. So it was about 6 cups of bone broth, 2 cups of red lentils. I cooked, let's see, a bunch of onions, sauteed those in about a tablespoon of olive oil, threw in a little bit of tomato paste for flavor, threw in a date for sweetness, and then I threw in 4 bunches of baby kale. No, I'm sorry, it was not baby kale, it was 4 bunches of bok choy. Just to get some new veggies in there. It tastes so good, I love it. There's a little bit of thyme as well. And that's on top of a roasted cauliflower. Again, with roasted vegetables, you have to be careful because the amount of oil in a roasted vegetable can be so high. It's like, why bother? Just eat rice or something else. So these are less oil roasted vegetables. I buy the avocado oil spray and I just spray it on. I'm not measuring. I should be. We're working on that. I'm not used to cooking with recipes, so this whole measuring thing is driving me crazy, but I'm going to keep trying to do it. But on top of that is chicken. And I did something new with the chicken this time. I bought a bunch of fresh dill. And dill is really high in quercetin, which is really good for allergies, and I'm getting some this time of year. Plus, it has a very, I don't know, it's like a happy taste, like pickles. But not, it's not actually pickles, but it reminds you of summer and that kind of thing. So the chicken on there has a lot of dill, a lot of garlic, a little bit of olive oil, sea salt, cracked black pepper, and then there's a new spice that I have been playing with from my local health food store. It's called adobo seasoning. I love it. I almost never buy pre-made mixes. This is completely clean, no fillers, no nothing. Turmeric, garlic, and several other spices. It tastes so yummy. And it pairs with chicken and lentils really, really well. So that's kind of the big picture of what we have this week. We're going to go into depth on what I'm tracking and why in another video here. But because it's so late and I have another thing I have to get to before bed, I'm going to close it off for today here. Thanks for joining. Leave any comments and talk to you soon. Night.